All right, so arithmetic sequences. Arithmetic addition. Geometric multiplication. That's all you really have to remember with those two. Okay? So they're either adding to be the next number or they're multiplying to be the next number. That's it. Okay? These are going to be arithmetic. Meaning I need to add something to 27 to get a number and then add something to that to get 35. Right? It's not too bad. What's the difference between 27 and 35? What do I add to 27 to get to 35? 8, right? So, what would this number be then? If I'm going to go halfway, right? So yeah, so if the whole way is 8, then halfway would be 4 and 4, right? That was easy. Okay, so this is 31. Done, son. Right? Okay, so if you understand what they're asking you, this problem is easy. If you look at it and go, right, then you just guess. You know? Hopefully your A, B, and C don't have too many numbers that are between 27 and 35. And then you'll probably guess right. You see what I'm saying? If they had 2 and 10 and 31 and 40, you'd probably be like, oh, it's probably between there. So 31, right? But if they had 30, 31, 32, and 33, you'd be like, I don't know, 32, because that's the middle one. C, you know, or maybe it would be 31. Boom, you won. You know, okay, so you have to understand what's going on. If you understand it, right, it's easy. If you don't understand it, it's hard. All right, so let's see how far you understand it. So, how much is this going up? 8? No. This one. 2. Yes. 2, 2, 2, right? So, if I want to find the next one, right? If I want to find the next one, it's going to be plus 2, right? So, we've got to look at the pattern. And once we know the pattern, we can figure out a formula. Once we know a formula, we can figure out what 52 is. Okay? So the pattern is, do you want to call this number 1 or number 0? I mean, that's kind of how it works. It doesn't matter what you start with. You need to start with something. So it's either number 1 or 0, then the next one's one more than that, right? And this one would be 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Typically like to do 0. Why do we like to start with 0? Well, because then we can say that, 2, right, times some number, x, to the 0th power, right? Now, in this case, it's not going to work out that way, but if I think about that, to the 0th power, then that would be 1. And 1 times 2, well, that's good, right? But yet 2 times 6, well, that's not good because that's 12. Right? 2 plus 6, okay, that's good because that's 8. But that's giving me the next one. I didn't want the next one. I wanted that one. So instead of 2 to the 0 power, maybe I say it's 0 2s. Right? So if I have 0 times 2, what is that? 0, right? So what's 0 plus 6? 6. Is that the first one? So that's good. Can we go with the second one? Right? Now, here's the biggest problem. If I'm going the 52nd term, and I'm calling this the first term, right? Then shouldn't I start this out with 1? But if I started out with 1 and I call these 2 and 3 and 4, right, and I go up to 52nd, then how am I going to get this to be 0 times 2? How do I get 1 to become 0?
You draw a line.
Good. What kind of line? How about a subtraction line, right? So I subtract how much from 1 to get 0? 1. Okay, that'll work. Nice. So 1 minus 1 times 2 is what?
1. Sorry, 0.
No, it would be 0 times 2 again, which should be 0, right? And then 0 plus 6 is 6. Now, will that work for the next series? Will that work to find this one? If I plug in, instead of a 1, if I plug in a 2 minus 1, right? I keep this the same, but I change the first one to a 2. So times 2, because we're always adding this number. We're adding that number to the 6. So what is 2 minus 1? 1. What's 1 times 2? 2. And what's 2? Not Z. 2. And what's 2 plus 6? 8. Is that the number we're looking for? Perfect. Will it work on the next one? Always try 3. 2 you can get lucky with. So the third one you got a pattern. Okay? So, again, what am I changing? 2 to a 3. Minus 1.
Times 2.
Times 2. Hey, he's getting it, right? Plus what? 6. What is 3 to minus 1?
4. 2.
Try again. 2. Good. 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 plus 6 is 9. And is that what we're looking for? Boom. Now.
Is it 104?
So, I'm not sure. But I'll know in a minute because I'm going to plug in what number? 52, yeah, because instead of 3, now I can plug in 52, right? So 52
times, or minus 1.
Minus 1
Times 2.
times 2
Plus 6.
plus 6
1 6
equals, well, what's 52 minus 1?
51.
51 times 2 is
102.
102 plus 6 is 108. So I know that the 52nd term is 108. Do I know the formula? Does it ask the formula? A lot of times they'll ask for the formula. Determine the sequence. Well, we know it's plus 2. Oh, and the explicit formula. They want to know the explicit formula. So what's the formula? The formula just means instead of 52, I'm going to plug in n. So it's going to be n. Come on. Instead of 52, we're going to plug in n. So it's going to be n minus 1 times 2.
6 plus.
6 plus. And that's your formula. Equals the nth term. So it doesn't matter what term, you just plug in your term, whatever one they're giving you, and you have a formula for it. And that's how you do arithmetic sequences. Okay? We did that at the very beginning of the year. I know you guys probably don't remember it. We did it a lot more in pre-calc than we did it in here. I didn't ask you to come up with this term. Now I am. It's not that hard. What I didn't put on this test is the geometric one. But it's not harder. Instead of its times, right, it's going to be to the power of. Big deal. Okay? So, that's a fun one.